Imagine standing on the shore, gazing at the endless horizon of the ocean. Now, picture this. Instead of salty waves crashing against the rocks, the water is fresh, pure, and drinkable. At first glance, this might sound like a dream come true for humanity. A world where the oceans are giant reservoirs of freshwater seems like the ultimate solution to droughts, thirst, and water shortages. But as with every what-if, reality is far more complicated, and perhaps even dangerous. The saltiness of our oceans has shaped life on Earth for billions of years. Every fish, every coral, every microscopic organism has evolved to survive in this briny environment. If, suddenly, the oceans turned into freshwater, the first victims would be marine life itself. Most sea creatures, from sharks and dolphins to plankton, depend on the salt balance to regulate their bodies. Without it, their cells would swell with water, leading to massive die-offs. The ocean would quickly turn into a graveyard, releasing unimaginable amounts of decomposing matter into the water and atmosphere. The air would fill with a suffocating stench, and ecosystems worldwide would collapse almost overnight. Coral reefs, often called the rainforests of the sea, would vanish. Without saltwater, the delicate calcium carbonate structures that corals build could not survive. The brilliant underwater cities teeming with life would crumble into lifeless skeletons, and with them, countless species would lose their homes. Fisheries would collapse, leaving millions of people without food or livelihoods. Humanity might rejoice at the thought of drinkable oceans, but we would also lose a crucial source of protein for billions. But the disaster doesn't end there. Saltwater plays a vital role in regulating the planet's climate. The salt content influences the density of water, driving the great ocean currents that distribute heat across the globe. Without salinity, these currents would weaken or vanish, disrupting weather patterns everywhere. Regions that rely on the warm Gulf Stream, like Western Europe, could plunge into colder, harsher winters. Meanwhile, other parts of the world might face unbearable heat waves or endless droughts. Agriculture, already struggling under climate change, would be thrown into further chaos. And what about humanity's dream of unlimited drinking water? It's not as simple as it sounds. Yes, freshwater oceans would remove the need for costly desalination plants. Rivers and lakes would stay full longer, and many countries would see their water problems solved, temporarily. But massive amounts of freshwater would also cause flooding on an unimaginable scale. With no salt to keep it balanced, the ocean would soak into land faster, destabilizing coastlines, eroding beaches, and swallowing entire cities. The natural cycle of evaporation and rainfall would intensify, leading to superstorms, destructive hurricanes, and devastating floods. Ironically, even though the ocean would be freshwater, it wouldn't be safe to drink. With billions of dead marine animals and disrupted ecosystems, the water would quickly become contaminated with bacteria, algae blooms, and toxins. Instead of a paradise, humanity might find itself surrounded by an ocean-sized swamp. Still, it's worth imagining how humans might adapt. Perhaps we would engineer new species of fish that could survive in freshwater oceans. Cities might develop technologies to filter and clean this vast new resource. Global trade routes could change, as shipping would no longer deal with corrosive salt-damaging vessels. Tourists would marvel at beaches where the water tastes like lake water rather than brine. But these small advantages pale in comparison to the catastrophic consequences for the natural world. The ocean salt is not just an inconvenience for swimmers who swallow a mouthful of water, it is the foundation of life as we know it. Every drop of briny sea connects us to a chain of history stretching back to Earth's earliest days, when the first primitive organisms crawled into existence. To erase that salt is to erase the conditions that made life possible in the first place. So, what if the ocean was freshwater instead of saltwater? The answer is both fascinating and terrifying. Humanity might find short-term comfort, but the Earth itself would be thrown into chaos. Life on our planet is perfectly tuned to the salty rhythm of the sea. Change that, and we change everything. The next time you stand on the shore and breathe in the salty air, remember, it is not just salt. It is the essence of the living Earth, a delicate balance that keeps us all alive.